Jack and the Pack is one of the most unique things to come out of the Thomas & Friends brand. A spin-off show focused on construction vehicles? What a cool concept, and it's a shame it's often overlooked by fans, because not only are the episodes absolutely fantastic, but it has loads of production history that's really interesting to speak of. Speaking of that history, let's talk about it. The spin-off was created by Phil Felrer, who was already an existing writer and producer on Thomas & Friends. In an interview with SIF, he explains, the concept for the series came out of a meeting with the Gidlane's marketing people in New York, who wanted to make a companion series to Thomas that would appeal to the next higher age group. Their marketing research shows that in terms of selling toys, boys in the age group like toys they can push and pull, load and unload. Therefore, I suggested to them that we use heavy construction vehicles, not Bob the Builder vehicles, but really big ones. Soon, Phil and the team started making their ideas a reality, with concept art being drawn, scripts being written, models being built, and filming taking place in 2002, with 2 episodes in Series 6 dedicated to introducing the new team of characters. Unfortunately, production was cut short, and the entire spin-off was soon cancelled after Ghislaine Entertainment was bought out by Hit Entertainment in 2002. There were 2 main reasons for this. The first was the budget was far too expensive for the series to continue. The second, and main reason, Hit Entertainment already had a successful TV show with construction vehicles and didn't want a competing show. 26 episodes were planned and written, but only half of the series were fully filmed due to the reasons previously mentioned. But after the series was cancelled, nothing more was done. They were lost to time. That was until 2006, between Thomas's 9th and 10th series, when Hit Entertainment decided to finish the episodes and release them on DVD, hence why Robert and Peter Hartshorn composed the music, and why Michael Angelis and Michael Brandon narrate them. So what do I think of the 13 episodes? Something I love about the series is every pack member gets an episode to themselves and explores a new side to their character. The only real exception is Max and Monty. Their spotlight episode is Percy's Scary Tale. One of my favourites of the series, however, it doesn't really explore a new side to their character. But throughout the series, I do like how Max and Monty are shown to act tough, but really they're just cowards, and it's always funny when they get their comeuppance. I generally enjoy all the episodes, but some are definitely better than others. The weakest episode of the series is without a doubt Thomas and the Moles. Firstly, the title doesn't make sense, but we'll get back to that. But also the episode is just rather boring and pointless. We've already had an episode focusing on Buster, which was far superior. I like the idea of Buster feeling left out because he's a steamroller, but it's so poorly executed. Oh yeah, and the moles talk. Wait, what? Yeah, I don't know if that's just Buster's imagination. That's my interpretation, because I refuse to accept that the crew thought, you know what would be a really funny idea? If the moles spoke, especially when they're complimenting a steamroller that just destroyed their home. Ha ha ha. Yes, that'll be really funny. But on a more positive light, all the episodes, with one exception, range on a good level. They're the same quality as the best of Series 7, so they all range on a decent to good scale. There's nothing terrible, but nothing outstandingly great. I really like the episodes focusing on the new characters. I really like Nelson. His episode is great. And On Site with Thomas is really good at establishing Patrick. I would have loved to have seen an episode exploring his dynamic with Max and Monty. I think that'd be really entertaining. But it's not just the new characters that get the best episodes. In fact, it's the original pack that I think get the best stories in my opinion. Alfie Has Kittens is great at developing Alfie, as we find out he's actually quite insecure about being small, a message that I relate to very much. And it's a really nice moral about just because you're small doesn't mean you can't be useful. Kelly's Windy Day is another stellar episode. It shows how caring Kelly is. Notice how, when he falls over, he asks if anyone else is hurt. But the best episode, in my opinion, is A Happy Day for Percy, where Byron feels unappreciated, but after he saves Alpha, he gets the appreciation he desired. Obviously that's the basic outline of the plot, but I want you to go all watch the episode yourself. Byron is so relatable in this episode. That scene where Alfie is drowning and Byron comes to save him is so intense. I love it so much. I could go on all day about the episodes, Mud Glorious Mud, Thomas Trusty Friends, but I must move on. Now, I've been pretty positive so far, and I hope that's coming across, because I do love Jack and the Pack, but there are some glaring issues about this series that I can't get past. Now, I've been calling it Jack and the Pack this entire video, because it's easy to say, it rolls off the tongue, and it's much better than saying the official title. Jack and the Sodor Construction Company. Who on earth thought that was a good title? But I think I may know why that is. Notice how they are never referred to as the Pack in any of the episodes. Not once. I think that's because Jack and the Pack is copyrighted to Ghislaine Entertainment, so Hit couldn't use the term unless they wanted to get into legal trouble, hence why in Series 6 they're called the Pack, but in the spin-off it's nowhere to be seen. They even changed the lettering on Ned's side. Notice in Series 6 it says Packard & Co, and in the spin-off it says Sodor Construction Company. I'm not sure if that is the case, but I'm 90% sure it is. Now, getting on to the titles of the episodes, they absolutely crane shunt Thomas and Percy's name into them. And you know what's the worst? They're not even the original titles. Percy helps out. How about Nelson gets carried away? A Happy Day for Percy? Try Byron Saves the Day. Thomas and the Moles? Buster 1, Moles 0. Aren't those titles so much better? But this leads into the biggest problem with Jack and the Sodor Construction Company. The crane shunting of Thomas and Percy into the episodes. For the most part, they appear for no reason and their scenes are pointless. There are some main culprits first, like Kelly's Windy Day. Thomas' appearances at the end is so pointless and unnecessary. Why are you there, Thomas? Get out! This isn't your show! It's meant to be a spin-off show. You know, a show that takes place in the same universe but focuses on different characters. So why are Thomas and Percy always there? I understand trying to link it to the original show, but not this much. This is why I like Percy's Scary Tale, because Thomas's appearance actually impacts the story. Realistically, most of Thomas's appearances could have been replaced with Nelson. Think about it. Nelson's job is to carry the machines, so why does Thomas do it so much? I understand in certain episodes he could have been carrying other machines, but in certain episodes such as Kelly's Windy Day or the Lightning Tree, there's really not an excuse. Jack and the Pack had so much potential, and I think this is most evident when reading the plot outlines and scripts for the episodes that never finished production. However, what's also interesting is footage probably exists for the episodes never finished. As in this document leaked by Steam Team 123, we can see that most of them were nearly completed. Will we ever see the missing footage? Probably not, though it would be really cool to see. Overall, I think Jack and the Pack is a really unique series, with strong episodes and even stronger characters. I think it would have been great if it had become successful, but sadly that wasn't to be. But it is interesting to think about what could have been. Now, I asked my friend Adam, aka Thomas Theorist, what he thought of Jack and the Pack, as he is one of the biggest Jack and the Pack fans I know. So, without further ado, take it away, Adam.
Hello everyone, Thomas Theorist here, jumping in for a quick cameo at the end. So yeah, Jack and the Pack. It's very easy to forget about Jack and the Pack because as a Thomas fan base and as train lovers, we tend to ignore the other vehicle characters in the show, which is one of the reasons why I think Jack and the Pack isn't given as much love. But in my opinion, if Jack and the Pack hadn't been cancelled, I think it could have had just as much love as Thomas does. The character potential with Jack and the Pack is endless, and honestly I think there's way more potential with the characters than there are with Thomas. Because of how limited the rails are in Thomas, you have to kind of create plots around the railway with Thomas, but with Jack and the Pack, They can drive along the road, they can lift things, they can rotate 360. There's just so much potential for those characters, and it's a shame that it was wasted. The way I would describe Jack in the Pack is kind of like Series 1 of Thomas. Like, imagine if Series 1 of Thomas had like 13 random episodes picked from it, and they made that the season. That is literally what Jack in the Pack is. Compared to the backlog of episodes that Thomas got, it's a real shame that Jack in the Pack never got its chance to shine. I would love to have seen what they would have done for future seasons. Like, how cool it would have been if they'd given other road vehicle characters focus in the show, like Butch or Terrence or Bulgy. It would have been so cool. Hell, how cool it would have been to see George or Buster? What about Isabella and Elizabeth? The stories like these just write themselves. Even though it's sad that Jack in the Pack got cancelled, if there's one positive I could say about the series, it's that I do believe the best episodes were adapted for TV. No offense to those 13 lost episodes, but I think the 13 episodes we got were the best ones of the batch. I actually did a video about the lost videos of Jack in the Pack. The link to that is in the description. Thanks for having me on, Will.
Thank you, Adam, that was great, and make sure you check out his video about the cancelled episodes, link in the description. So I thank you guys all for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed something a little different from the remakes that I usually do. Honestly, I was really happy to share my love about Jack in the Pack with everyone, and I hope it brings the series that little bit more attention. Well, thank you for watching everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.